Well, good afternoon and welcome to Deer Lodge, Powell County. Wardens taking on the Bigfork Vikings. The Vikings, their second game of the new year, along with Powell County. Powell County comes in this ball game 5-1. Their only loss to Loyola at Loyola earlier before Christmas. And Bigfork, we know, beat Loyola down there 70-65 back on December 18th. It shows Powell County took on Loyola, lost on the 14th, 68-57. The other common opponent is Lincoln County, and no score on Powell County's score against them. They also beat Anaconda 60-38, as we won our matchup with Anaconda 60-24. So the Vikings are 7-0 on the season, 5-1, I understand, for Powell County. We'll get underway here in about 8 minutes. I'll get your starting lineups. I want a big shout out to our sponsors, the UPS store and Brad Stodchill, coming on board and sponsoring these games away. Appreciate that. Along with Harvest Foods, the Harvest Foods scoreboard, brought to you Marcus Balgos and those folks at Harvest Foods, as well as His Biz. And His Biz Paint and Renovate. They also do snow plowing and snow removal. I know that firsthand. You got to give Hoagie a call if you need some snow removed. We'll be back with a starting lineup momentarily from Deer Lodge, as it is the Powell County Wardens taking on your Bigfork Vikings. Vikings basketball, 406-270-7384. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes about. Give me a text, let you know you're catching this game, you're listening in, so I know we're broadcasting out there. We'll be underway with the tip-off in about 10 minutes from Deer Lodge, Montana. Well, once again, welcome back to Deer Lodge, Montana. It is the Powell County Wardens taking on your Bigfork Vikings. They'll be tipping off here momentarily. You got your starting lineups. First of all, for Powell County, 5'10" junior, number 3, Judge Applegate. That's 6'1" senior, wearing number 4, Graydon Nicholson, a 6' senior. Number 5, Dylan McDermott. Number 14 is a 5'8" sophomore, Ozzie King, and at 6'5", a senior, number 20, Dalton Pauley. Powell County is led by head coach Dakota Norris, assisted by Will Pauley and Tristan Clark. They are in their whites with gold trim and a little dark blue on their numbers. For the Vikings tonight, under head coach Sam Tudor, we got a 5'10" senior guard. You know, we start all seniors. Been together for a long time. Number 0, Anders Epperle. That's 6'2" and playing guard senior. Number 1, Clayton Reichenbach. Also at 6'2", forward senior. Number 3, Colton Reichenbach. Randy Stoltz, ankle must be better. Starts at 5'11". He's a guard, senior guard. Number 10, Randy Stoltz starting. And Logan Gilliard, 6'4" forward, senior forward, number 30. Anders Epperle and Logan Gilliard are the captains under head coach Sam Tudor, assisted by Joe Pitts and Jim Epperle. The Powell County High School Band playing here. Warm up, we're going to have our national anthem as the flag is being presented tonight by the Powell County cheerleaders. We'll listen to that and see what's going on.
I'd like to take this time to honor Gene McKee. Dan McKee, would you please come down to the floor?
We're going to do some honoring here. And we'll be back with the tip-off here momentarily. It looks like they got put 3 minutes on the clock. Going to take care of some house business here, and then we'll be back with the tip-off of this ball game. Well, welcome back to Deer Lodge, Powell County Wardens, and taking on the Bigfork Vikings. Did still a memorial to Gene McKee, a longtime supporter of Warden sports here. Passed away, and so honored a plaque and a little moment of silence for her tonight. So a couple more minutes back on the clock, finish up warm-ups. And a couple minutes in, we'll have the national anthem and then tip-off here from Deer Lodge. As Bigfork, the Vikings, unbeaten, 7-0, take on the Powell County Wardens from Deer Lodge, Montana. I'm sure you can hear the Powell County pep band in the background, standing right next to them. Be back in just a couple minutes with a tip-off. Text me at 406-270-7384. I know Hoagie's listening, and others, let me know that you're tuning in to the broadcast tonight. We'll be underway momentarily from Deer Lodge, Montana. Be back momentarily. Well, welcome back to Deer Lodge. The colors being presented by the Powell County Warden Cheerleaders. And one of the students will be singing here momentarily. I'll let you tune in and I'll be quiet when the national anthem. All right. We're ready to meet our starting lineups for both teams. I already gave those to you. I'll give it to you again as introduced. Bigfork first. Anders Epperly, the senior. Point guard, four-year starter for Bigfork. Clayton Reichenbach, number 1, 6'2" guard. Colton Reichenbach, the 6'2" forward, the twin of Clayton. Randy Stoltz, an all-state running back. And Gilliard. Gilliard makes this team go. If he's hitting, the team is very tough. Gilliard, Epperly, and Stoltz will play in the Shrine game. That's your starters for the Vikings. And for Powell County, Judd Applegate, 5'10" junior. Braden Nicholson, 6-foot senior. You've seen him for the last few years, along with Applegate. McDermott as well, 6'1" senior. So we start 5 seniors, they start 3, along with 2, a sophomore and a junior. Ozzie King is the sophomore, and then Dalton Pauley, the senior, the son of the assistant coach, Powell County, led by head coach Dakota Norton, assisted by Will Pauley and Tristan Clark. Brad Stotchill, UPS store, listening out there. 406-270-7384. Let me know that you're listening. About ready to have the tip-off here from Deer Lodge, as it'll be Powell County taking on the Bigfork Vikings. Colton to tip against McDermott. Tips it back in the backcourt. Bigfork heading right to left in their dial. Epperly across the timeline, over to Stoltz on the right side. Back to Epperly, top of the key. Underneath, off Colton Reichenbach's hands, and out of bounds. It'll be turned over to Powell County. Nicholson will take it out of bounds. Inbound to Applegate, back to Nicholson, up the left side to McDermott, back to Graydon Nicholson, as the Vikings in a trap situation. Applegate gets it across, trapped in the corner, down to Ozzie King. Ozzie King off somebody's foot. It is off King's foot and out of bounds off Powell County, and it'll be Bigfork basketball with 7:32 and no score on your Harvest Foods of Bigfork scoreboard. Epperly across the timeline, takes it out to the right side, feeds it to Gilliard. Jump shot from the right elbow, good for 2 points for Logan Gilliard, and a 2-0 score. Bigfork leads. In Nicholson, over to Applegate, back to McDermott, up to Pauley, back out to Nicholson at the top of the key. Applegate has the basketball. Over the right side to McDermott, back to Applegate. Applegate over to Ozzie King on the left side at top of the key. Feeds it underneath to McDermott, swatted away by Epperly, and Stoltz gets on the ground, gets the ball. It'll be held ball as Randy Stoltz and Graydon Nicholson tie it up on the floor, and the possession arrow belongs to Powell County as Bigfork won the opening toss. And Nicholson will take it out of bounds. Nicholson inbounds to Applegate. Applegate being trapped to Nicholson's shot on the way is good. Jumper float away, tied at 2 with 6:38. Inbounded to Epperly. Epperly brings it across the timeline. Goes over to the right side. Over the left side is Stoltz. Stoltz in the left wing, feeds underneath it to Gilliard, off Gilliard's hand and out of bounds. That'll be turnover by the Vikings. And it'll be Powell County basketball underneath as Graydon Nicholson inbounds to McDermott. McDermott back to Nicholson, back to McDermott. McDermott brings it across the timeline. Out to Applegate. Applegate top of the key, feeds it over to Nicholson. Applegate about 8 feet above the top of the key. Over to McDermott, back to Applegate. Over to King on the left side. Applegate with the basketball top of the key. McDermott feeds into Pauley. Pauley on the elbow, feeds it out. 3-point shot on the way by Nicholson, and no good. Rebounded by Gilliard. Gilliard feeds it out to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline, brings it up. Spin move. Out, kicks it out to Clayton Reichenbach. Reichenbach on the left side. Out to Epperly. Feeds it underneath to Colton Reichenbach up and good for 2 by Reichenbach, 4-2. The Vikings lead on your Harvest Foods scoreboard with 5:30 and counting here in the opening quarter. Into McDermott, over to Applegate, right side, brings it across the timeline to Ozzie King. Ozzie King gonna fakes the three-point shot as Reichenbach recovers, feeds it out to Applegate. Applegate at the top of the key, surveying the situation, feeds it over the right side to McDermott. McDermott to Applegate. Applegate, long three-point shot off the rim, runs around and drops for Powell County. Into Epperly, up to Clayton Reichenbach. Feeds it into Colton Reichenbach. Out to Stoltz. Stoltz shot on the way, three-point shot. I'm not sure what that call. They called 3-second violation, I believe, on Bigfork because there's no foul. 5-4, the Wardens lead on that three-point shot. And Coach Tudor will take a 30-second timeout here. So 4:54 to go here in the first quarter, and the Wardens on that last three-point shot lead 5-4 over the Vikings from Deer Lodge, Montana. Jerry Taylor listening. Levi played great in the JV game. The JV took it on the chin by 20. They lost 70-50. It was close for 3 quarters, and then Powell County kind of pulled away in the second half. So Powell County basketball, inbound. McDermott up in the front court to Polly. Polly on the left side, back to McDermott, out to Applegate. Applegate with the basketball. Over the right side of McDermott, back to Applegate. Nicholson on the left side, brings it out to the top of the key. Guarded by Epperly. Over to Applegate, guarded by Schmidt. Luke Schmidt in the ball game for Bigfork. Pokes the ball away in the backcourt on Applegate. Schmidt getting all over him. And Schmidt, nearly steers the basketball, and Powell County has to take a timeout as Schmidt was all over Applegate with some great defense. Poked it away, knocked it back in the backcourt, and recovered by Powell County as they take the timeout. 30-second timeout by Powell County with 4:18 to go on your Harvest Food scoreboard. The Vikings trail 4-5. Bigfork already ready to go. Epperly, Clayton and Colton Reichenbach, Luke Schmidt, and Logan Gilliard for the Vikings. McDermott, Applegate, Nicholson, Ben Anderson in the game for Powell County, and Dalton Pauley are your players for Powell County. Trapped in the corner, McDermott gets to the top of the key from Applegate. Shot up from the free throw line, off the rim, tipped out, and brought down by Luke Schmidt. Schmidt loses it, throws it up, had nobody to pass it to, and that is a traveling violation on Luke Schmidt. He went up in the air, went to pass it, had nobody, so he just dropped it. If he drops it, leaves it alone, it's not a traveling violation. Inbound by Powell County to Anderson from Applegate, and there'll be a foul called on Bigfork. That's on number 3, Colton Reichenbach, his first team foul. Checking the ball game for Bigfork. Number 15, Brady Thorness. Applegate to inbound underneath the basket, their own basket, out to top McDermott. McDermott steps his foot in the back court. He drives, tries to get underneath. Epperly steals the pass away, driving up the key all the way. He's going to feed to Luke Schmidt. Stolen there by Nicholson. Nicholson loses his headband and driving all the way. And he's traveled, he tried to hold up, does Nicholson, but Nicholson travels as he drags his pivot foot and out of bounds to Bigfork. Gilliard inbounds the ball to Epperly. Epperly brings it across the timeline for Bigfork underneath Colton Reichenbach and blocked away by Nicholson. And trying to recover it A foul called to number 15, Brady Thornus, his first and second team foul. Randy Stoltz along with Clayton Reichenbach replacing Colton Reichenbach and Luke Schmidt. Inbound, McDermott over Nicholson, back to McDermott up the left side. Bigfork in a trap. Up to Pauly. Pauly feeds it on a three-point shot on the way by McDermott. Off the rim, rolls up, shooters. And in the basket for McDermott, 8-4, the Vikings trail with 3:10 to go here in the first quarter. Epperly across the timeline to Stoltz, back to Epperly. Epperly looking underneath, finds Brady Thornus. Looked like a 3-second violation, must have been called a Bigfork because no foul was put up. McDermott in the top of the key for Powell County. Nicholson on the drive, poked away by Epperly. Short shot by Applegate, out of bounds. Looked like it went up off of McDermott, and the official says off of Bigfork, it will be Powell County's basketball underneath. Applegate inbounding. All the way out top to Nicholson. And Epperly trying to go for it, fouls Nicholson out at the top of the key. That'll be his first and third team foul as Colton Reichenbach replaces Brady Thornus. And Powell County's Nicholson will take it out of bounds. Inbound to Applegate. Applegate across the timeline. They're heading left to right on your dial. Applegate over the left side to Nicholson. Nicholson looking for Anderson. Nicholson looking to drive. Randy Stoltz all over him. Screen, and Applegate drives it all the way in. And Pauly blocked by Clayton Reichenbach up to Epperly, up to Stoltz. And they're going to call a player control foul on Randy Stoltz as he tries to go in for the layup. And Nicholson was right there. 2:17 to go here in the first quarter. 8-4, Powell County leads Bigfork on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Luke Schmidt will come back in the ball game for Bigfork. 4 team fouls on Bigfork, none on Powell County. That is Stoltz's first. As Applegate will bring it across the timeline for Powell County. Underneath to Anderson. Anderson guarded by Colton Reichenbach. Anderson shot up and off the rim. Pauly goes up, and he's going to be fouled as he misses the layup with the left hand. Does Dalton Pauly. And Pauly will go to the line to shoot two. And looks like that is his second personal foul on Colton Reichenbach. And Ozzie King will come back in the lineup for Powell County. And Pauly misses the first. Second one on the way, off the rim, and no good. Rebounded by Colton Reichenbach. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Epperly over to Schmidt in the front court. Back to Epperly, top of the key. Finds Logan Gilliard on the left side. Epperly's three-point shot on the way, off the rim, and no good. And Randy Stoltz comes up the rebound, puts it up off the back of the rim, and no good. But Stoltz will go to the free throw line and get 2 shots for Bigfork. That's the first foul on Powell County. It'll be on number 20, Dalton Pauly. And the first team foul, Randy Stoltz to the line for 2 shots for Bigfork. Jim and Becky Fett listening all the way from Georgia. As Stoltz makes the first, second on the way is good. 8-6 with 1:40 to go here in the first quarter, and Powell County leads the Vikings on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Inbound, Applegate, picked up by Epperly across the timeline, over to McDermott. McDermott to Anderson. Anderson, turnaround jumper off the rim, and Epperly nearly grabs the rebound. Pauly pushes Epperly, but no foul called. Out of bounds on Pauly. It'll be Bigfork basketball underneath. Reichenbach, Colton into Epperly. Epperly brings it up. He'll bring it in the front court, crosses the timeline for Bigfork. Over to the right side goes Epperly. Feeds it Logan Gilliard. Logan Gilliard, top of the key. Shot on the way, but the foul is going to be called before the shot. And that foul be on number 14, Ozzie King, his first and second team foul on Powell County. Epperly to inbounds underneath. Out to Luke Schmidt. Luke Schmidt, top of the key. Over to Stoltz on the right side of the right wing. Stoltz out to Schmidt. Over to Epperly, left side wing. To Schmidt. Luke Schmidt over to Colton Reichenbach. Colton Reichenbach in the corner. Logan Gay with the basketball. Feeds it out to Reichenbach. Schmidt feeds it to Epperly. Epperly underneath to Randy Stoltz. Stoltz goes up and scores the bucket. They'll go to the free throw line. The Vikings will try to take the lead with 49.4 to go here in the first quarter. That is the second personal on King and the third team foul. Applegate comes out of the ball game for Powell County. Stoltz at the free throw line to complete the and one. Just a little bit short off the front rim, no good. As Nicholson replaced Applegate, brings it up across the timeline. Score is 8-8 on the Harvest Food scoreboard with just under 40 seconds to go. Anderson underneath. Knocked away by Gilliard, picked up by Luke Schmidt. Schmidt in the front court to Epperly, to Gilliard. Gilliard up off the backboard and good for two by Logan Gilliard, 10-8. The Vikings take the lead. Nicholson with the basketball, the top of the key. Running the point for Powell County. 15 seconds and counting. Nicholson drives to the right side, feeds it to McDermott. McDermott guarded by Stoltz. Anderson up off the rim, backboard, and good. 2 points for Anderson. Applegate. Long three by Epperly at the buzzer is no good. We're tied at 10 apiece after one quarter from Powell County. 10-10 on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. We'll be back with the second quarter momentarily from Powell County Deer Lodge High School. All right, welcome back to Deer Lodge. Bigfork basketball to start the second quarter. Epperly with the basketball on the right side, over to Stoltz, left side. Feeds it to Clayton Reichenbach. Stoltz, top of the key, feeds it to Epperly on the right side. On the right wing, feeds it underneath. Colton Reichenbach, turnaround jumper is good by Reichenbach in the paint. You get a lot of that in the last couple of ball games. And 12-10 on the Harvest Food scoreboards. Bigfork leads Powell County. Applegate. Over to McDermott on the right side, way out at the top of the key. Back to Applegate, over to Nicholson. Nicholson, guarded by Clayton Reichenbach. Epperly on Applegate, over to McDermott. McDermott knocked away. Anderson with the basketball. Throws it out to Nicholson. Nicholson's going to drive, feeds it to number 21. That's Keith Kemenhan, the senior in the ballgame for Powell County. He scores. We're tied at 12. Epperly with the basketball. Feeds it to Clayton Reichenbach. 3-point shot on the way by Reichenbach and rebounded by Logan Gilliard. Shot back up is good. Splash down up at the bottom net by Logan Gilliard. 14-12. The Vikings lead the Wardens. Applegate brings it across the timeline for Powell County. Over to McDermott on the right side. Top of the key to Keppinen. Over to Applegate. Applegate looking to drive. Anderson, top of the key, over to the right side to Nicholson. Nicholson going to drive, throws it up, and off the rim and no good, but there's a foul called as the whistle blows, and that foul is going to be on number 1, Clayton Reichenbach. That is his first and the 16th foul on the Vikings. Luke Schmidt along with Brady Thornus, return for Bigfork, replacing Stoltz and Colton Reichenbach. Inbound to Keppenhen. Applegate's three-point shot on the way is good. And 15-14, the Wardens lead the Vikings with 6:13 to go on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Epperly across the timeline. Over to Schmidt, right side. Back to Epperly. Underneath to Gilliard. Gilliard up, off the backboard, and good by Logan Gilliard. And 16-15, the Vikings lead Powell County. Applegate. Guarded by Schmidt, brings it to the front court, drives it all the way, pulls up just short. Rebounded by Schmidt. Schmidt out to Epperly. Epperly looking the right side, drives, finds, and just throws over the top of Clayton Reichenbach as he was cutting to the lane. And just a bit high for Clayton to handle out of bounds. It'll be Powell County basketball as Logan Gilliard will get a break and Colton Reichenbach returns for Bigfork. Applegate with the basketball. They're bringing it across the timeline, takes it over the right wing, down to McDermott. McDermott looking to feed into Anderson. Anderson looking to go up, off the backboard, no good. Schmidt comes up with a loose ball, the rebound, feeds it to Clayton Reichenbach on the right side, right wing, three-point shot on the way, splits down, nothing but the bottom of it. That's Clayton Reichenbach from three-point range, and 19-15. The Vikings lead with 5:12 to go on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Applegate into the front court. Over to McDermott on the right side. McDermott looking to drive, pull up, guarded by Epperly, shot off the rim and no good, and rebounded by Brady Thornus. Feeds it out to Clayton Reichenbach. Epperly in the front court, right side. Feeds it over to Clayton on the left side. Clayton looking to drive, kicks it to Luke Schmidt. Three-point shot by Schmidt on the way, off the rim, off the top of the board, and that is out of bounds. And turnover to Powell County as Stoltz and Gilliard return, replacing Schmidt and Thornus. As the Vikings lead 19-15 on your Harvest Food scoreboard with 4:41 to go till halftime. Applegate bringing it up the court, crosses the timeline. Polly back in the game for Powell County. Over to McDermott, the right side. Polly posts up Gilliard. Kicks it back out to McDermott on the right wing. Out to Applegate, top of the key. Gives it to Graydon Nicholson. Nicholson back out to Applegate. Applegate, top of the key, setting something up, sorry. On the left side, feeds it into Polly. Polly looking to go on Gilliard and can't. Feeds it out, kicks it out to Applegate. Applegate, ball on the floor and a held ball. And the possession arrow belongs to Powell County with 4:02 to go here in till halftime. Schmidt returns. He'll give Epperly a breather for Bigfork. In the backcourt, stolen away by Colton Reichenbach on the inbounds pass. Feeds it up to Schmidt. Schmidt will bring it across the timeline. Feeds it to Stoltz, right side. Randy Stoltz over to Luke Schmidt. Schmidt, looks underneath, throws it away. Stolen away by Nicholson, intended for Gilliard. And Nicholson brings it all the way up into the front court. Nicholson nowhere to go. Passes back out to Applegate. Applegate look at his coach, Dakota Norris, for a signal. Applegate dribbling at the top of the key. Takes it over the left side. Feeds it to King. King guarded by Schmidt. Schmidt steals it away from King. Going to drive all the way. And Schmidt is going to be fouled by Ozzie King. And I believe that's going to be King's third. And he is not happy. And he'll have to stay in the ballgame because he gets two shots. The official let King out, and he shouldn't have because Luke Schmidt's at the line to shoot two as he was fouled going to the basket. Schmidt's first shot is good. Check that who came in for King. Schmidt's second shot up and off the rim and no good. And Nicholson with the basketball. And he's fouled by Luke Schmidt. That'll put Powell County in a bonus 1-1 Schmidt replaced by Epperly. That is Schmidt's first and 7th team foul. Number 11, Zane Fowler, is the guy that came in for Ozzie King. And Nicholson at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. First shot on the way, off the rim, and no good. Applegate gets the rebound. Nicholson looking to shoot, and Fowler looking to shoot the three-point. Can't. Good defense by Bigfork. And on the drive goes Nicholson. He's going to be fouled by Randy Stoltz. That is Stoltz' second and 8th team foul. And Nicholson will go back to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. As it was on the ground on the drive. First shot up and on the way is good. He'll get the bonus. 20-16 with 3:11 to go here to halftime on your Harvest Foods, a Bigfork scoreboard. And Nicholson will get one more. Up, shot up and no good. Tipped away to Stoltz by Colton Reichenbach. Stoltz will bring it back and gives it up to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline for Bigfork. He's going to take it over the right side. Looking, finds Clayton Reichenbach. Backdoor alley-oop is good. Off the backboard by Clayton Reichenbach. 22-16, 2:52 to go. And the Vikings lead. Powell County. Applegate will bring it across the timeline. Over to McDermott on the right side, guarded by Stoltz. McDermott looking to drive, pulls up and shoots it just inside the free throw line. Good for two. Inbounded to Epperly. Epperly into the front court, takes it over to the right side, finds Gillard on the elbow, backdoor to Colton Reichenbach, and Colton can't handle the pass. Wide open underneath for a layup. It'll be turned over to Powell County as Ben Anderson returns for the Wardens with 2:25 and counting till halftime. Applegate in the front court. It's kicked by Bigfork out of bounds and remain possession to Powell County. McDermott in the front court. We'll take it out of bounds. Feeds it into Applegate. Back to McDermott on the right side. McDermott looking to drive. Feeds it to Pauly. Pauly has nowhere to go. Stolen away by Clayton Reichenbach. Colton comes up with it out to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline. Feeds it up to Randy Stoltz, right side. Epperly shot on the way from three. No good, but Gillard comes up with the rebound off the backboard and no good, and Bigfork fighting for it. McDermott comes out with a Nicholson. Reverse layup makes it 22-20. Vikings lead with 1:50 to go. Inbounded, Epperly across the timeline. Into the front court. Over the right side to Stoltz. Stoltz looking for Gillard. Gillard's shot. Nope, kicks it out to Epperly. Epperly faked the three. Feeds it over to Clayton Reichenbach. Three-point shot on the way by Clayton. Over the top of the rim and no good. And Nicholson will come up with the rebound and drive it up into the front court. They'll give it up to Applegate, the top of the key. 1:20 and counting to halftime. 22-20 Vikings lead on your Harvest Food scoreboard. McDermott left side over to Anderson, back to Applegate, back to Nicholson, back to Applegate. McDermott with the basketball on the left side. Applegate, top of the key, guarded by Epperly. Over to Nicholson. Applegate, McDermott under Anderson. And Applegate looking to drive, throws up a shot off the rim and no good. But Pauly comes up the rebound and nearly blocked. Pauly goes up, rebound, throws it up again off the rim and good. It'll tie it up at 22 with 45 seconds of counting to halftime. Epperly into the front court. He'll go to the right side, guarded by Applegate. Stoltz, left side. Feeds it to Clayton Reichenbach, out to Epperly. Epperly looking to drive. Off the backboard and good by Epperly. Inbound to McDermott to Applegate. 25 seconds to go. 24-22, Vikings lead. Applegate into the front court. He'll look for one last shot for Powell County. He'll dribble the top, 10 seconds and counting. Epperly guarding Applegate. Down to 4 seconds. Stolen away by Reichenbach. Give it up to Epperly. Gets a shot up after the buzzer. So your halftime score, a low-scoring ball game. A defensive battle The Bigfork Vikings lead the Powell County Wardens 24-22 on your Harvest Foods of Bigfork scoreboard. We'll be back in a few minutes with your halftime stats from Deer Lodge, Montana, as the Bigfork Vikings lead the Powell County Wardens 24-22. 406-270-7384. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes of Hallelujah. Give me a text, let me know that you're getting this game. We're back momentarily. All right, welcome back to Deer Lodge, Montana. Halftime score, the Vikings lead the Powell County Wardens 24-22 on your Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard. Your halftime stat is brought to you by the UPS store, Brad Stodge Hill, 439 Grand Drive in Bigfork, 837-2002. For all your printing and shipping needs, contact the UPS store in Bigfork. Thanks for sponsoring our halftime stats. First of all, I got for Powell County, and we'll take a look at it. Anderson had two three-pointers by Applegate. Nicholson with 5 points, 5 by McDermott, 2 by Pauly, and 2 by Kimpinen. 10 in the first and 12 in the second for a total of 22 at halftime for Powell County. Just waiting on Bigfork's halftime stats, and I'll give those to you as soon as I get those from my trusty as soon as I get those from her, I'll pass those all to you. But a bit of a struggle there in the first half. Defensively, Vikings trying to adjust. I think Powell County's 5-1 on the season. Their only loss was to Loyola, at Loyola. So adjustments need to be made by the Bigfork and step it up in the second half. Tough ball game here from Deer Lodge, Montana. Shout out to Sam Tudor's family down in Arizona listening to this ball game as well. So shout out to the UPS store. Thanks again, Brad Stodgill. Also, our other sponsor is His Biz. Paint and renovate. Hoagie Hogan. His Biz specializes in paint and renovative exterior and interior of both residential and commercial projects. His Biz also does snow removal, and I can attest to that firsthand as they did the plowing of my driveway. Contact His Biz at www.hisbiz.us or 270-1998 if you need some renovation done or restoration or you need some snow removed. Be back momentarily with your second half. I'll get the stats from here for Bigfork here momentarily and get those to you before the second half. We got 3 minutes till second half tip-off from Deer Lodge, Montana, as the Vikings lead the Wardens 24-22. All right, welcome again back to Deer Lodge, Montana. 24-22 at halftime. The Vikings lead the Wardens on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Your halftime stats brought to you by the UPS store of Bigfork. Epperly with 2, 5 by Clayton Reichenbach, 4 by Colton Reichenbach. Luke Schmidt, 1 of 2 for the Reader line with 1 point. Rennie Stoltz with 4 points. 8 points by Logan Gear. They got to get a little more involved. It was tied at 10 after one quarter, very low scoring quarter. And same thing with the second out. Bigfork outscored them 14-12. So that gets your halftime score 24-22. I'm sure Coach Tudor will make a few adjustments and has made a few adjustments at halftime. We'll get underway here momentarily as the clock counts down, and we're going to kick off the second half. From Deer Lodge, Montana. Same starters for Bigfork. We got Epperly, Stoltz, Colton and Clayton Reichenbach, and Logan Gilliard. Looks like the same for Powell County. We got Applegate, Nicholson, McDermott, Ozzie King, and Dalton Pauley. And the Vikings will get the basketball to start the second half. They'll be heading left to right on your dial. Inbound to Epperly in the front court. Over to Clayton Reichenbach on the right side. Out to Epperly, top of the key. To Stoltz, Stoltz right side, the right wing. Feeds in the corner to Clayton Reichenbach, out to Stoltz, Stoltz over to Epperly. Epperly looking underneath for Logan Gilliard. Feeds it to Clayton Reichenbach, up and off the backboard, and good by Clayton Reichenbach. And a nice pass from Epperly with 7:35 and 26-22. The Vikings lead on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. Applegate, front court. Over to McDermott on the right side, guarded by Stoltz. McDermott looking to drive. Cut off by Stoltz. It feeds it out to Applegate at the top of the key. Over to Nicholson. Nicholson, guarded by Clayton Reichenbach. Nowhere to go by Nicholson. Stop. Nice defense there by Bigfork. Gonna get a 5-second call. Oh, Epperly takes it away nearly from Ozzie King. Ozzie King on the ground. That's got to be a travel. And Powell County calls a timeout, but you can't roll over like that. That's definitely a travel, but they gave him the timeout instead as Epperly nearly stole it at half court and dove on it with Ozzie King, and King moving right there. And it looks like it'll be Powell County basketball as they get the timeout. 26-22, 6:58 to go here in the third quarter as the Vikings lead. And King will take it out on the far side. Inbounds to Applegate. Applegate, 1 foot in the backcourt, gets it over to McDermott, up to Pauley. Pauley up and under, layup is good. Nice move by Pauley, 26-24. Inbound to Epperly. Epperly bringing it across the timeline. Over to Stoltz, left side, down in the corner to Colton Reichenbach. Looks to feed to Clayton Reichenbach, stolen by Ozzie King, knocked away by Gilliard. Gilliard out of bounds, tries to save it off his hand and out of bounds. It'll be Powell County basketball. And Brady Thorness will come to the ball game, replacing Colton Reichenbach. Applegate inbound, looking way in the backcourt to Ozzie King. King will bring it across the timeline. It's like Bigfork in a 2-3 zone, matchup zone. Applegate with the basketball. Epperly. McDermott right side, back out to Applegate. Over to King. Applegate, top of the key. Over to King on the left side, looking to drive. Trapped in the corner, knocked away by Gilliard, and nearly stole it. Loose ball comes out to Applegate at the top of the key. Over to McDermott on the right side. McDermott dribbles, kicks it out to King at the top of the key, nearly half court. Over to King on the left side. King to Nicholson, kicks it out to McDermott. Long three-pointer on the way is good by McDermott, and the Wardens take the lead 27-26 with 5:30 to go here in the third quarter on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Epperly across the timeline, over to Stoltz, back to Epperly on the right side, right wing. Epperly looking over, finds Stoltz, over to Gilliard. Gilliard looking, turn around, jumper by Gilliard is good. On the baseline, Gilliard drops, turns towards the baseline, puts it up 28-27. The Vikings lead with 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Applegate into the front court, feeds it over to McDermott. McDermott looking for Pauley underneath, looking to drive on Stoltz, feeds it out to Applegate. Applegate guarded by Gilliard. Nicholson with the basketball, feeds it over to McDermott. McDermott guarded by Stoltz. McDermott looking to drive, pulls up and hits the floater for good for two. 29-28, Vikings trail on your Harvest Food scoreboard. 4:35 and counting. Epperly into the front court, across the timeline. Back door to Gilliard, stolen by King on the attempted back door to Gilliard. King across the timeline. Feeds it out to Applegate, top of the key, near half court. Feeds it over to McDermott. McDermott looking to drive on Stoltz. He's going to pull up a jumper off the backboard, and no good. Epperly comes up with the rebound, feeds it over to Gilliard. Gilliard on the left side, feeds it over to Clayton Reichenbach on the drive, off the backboard, and no good. And Stoltz comes up with the loose ball, feeds it over to Brady Thornus. Epperly, top of the key, looking to drive, takes it all the way to the backboard, and off the backboard and no good as Epperly's shot comes up short, but he'll head to the free throw line for 2 shots. And the foul is on number 20, Dalton Pauly, his second and first team foul on the Wardens here in the second half. 3:58 to go. And Epperly with first shot. Up and good. We're tied at 29 with 3:58 to go on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. Stoltz replaced by Schmidt. Anderson replaced King for Powell County. And Epperly will get one more free throw. Shot up off the backboard, no good. Clayton Reichenbach comes with the rebound. Epperly three-point shot on the way off the backboard and no good. And Nicholson will come up with it. Full steam ahead goes Nicholson, feeds it up McDermott. McDermott throws it off the backboard. Up and under is good. He'll tie it as the Wardens take the lead, 31-29 with 3:42 to go. Epperly over to Schmidt, right side. Back to Epperly, the left side. Over to Schmidt. Fakes it in the corner to Reichenbach. Epperly looking to drive all the way to the backboard. Off the board, hangs in the air, puts it up off the board and good. And he'll go to the free throw line to shoot the and one as he ties the ball game at 31. And that foul's on number 4, Graydon Nicholson, his first and second team foul on Powell County. Epperly's shot up and good, 32-31, 3:28 go in third quarter on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. And the Vikings take the lead into Applegate. McDermott dribbling it up across the timeline. And they're going to call a block as Clayton Reichenbach takes him right up the sideline and McDermott steps out of bounds. But that is the second foul on Clayton. First team foul on the Vikes here in the second half. Applegate over to McDermott on the left side, down to Pauly underneath. And they're going to call a foul on Brady Thornus. That's his second team foul. And Thornus will be replaced by Colton Reichenbach as the Vikings lead 32-31. Into McDermott. McDermott out to Nicholson. Out to Applegate, top of the gate, guarded by Schmidt. Over to McDermott, guarded by Clayton Reichenbach. Pauly, top of the key, guarded by Gilliard. Backdoor underneath, stolen away by Colton Reichenbach, gives it up to Epperly. Epperly across the timeline. Slows it down, gives it to Schmidt on the right wing. Schmidt over to Epperly, left side. Backdoor, Colton Reichenbach up, gets the rebound. As a shot off the rim is no good. Gets the rebound, feeds it out. Epperly on the drive. Looks out, finds Logan Gilliard, top of the key, three-point shot on the way. Off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Pauly. Out to McDermott. McDermott looking to drive. Takes it, pulls up. Off the front of the rim, rebounded by Colton Reichenbach. Over to Epperly. Epperly right side, finds Logan Gilliard. Knocked out of bounds. And I think the officials got that one wrong as Applegate knocks it out of Gilliard's hands, and they gave the ball to Powell County. Well, they saw it differently. Passes inbound, stolen away by Epperly, missing the shot, but Schmidt comes up with it, puts it off the backboard, and good into Applegate. Over to McDermott. McDermott. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Luke Schmidt. 34-31 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. 2:11 to go here in the third quarter. The Vikings lead the Wardens. And it gets a little chippy out there between these. No love lost between Powell County and Bigfork. Inbounded to Pauly. Stolen away by Epperly to Schmidt to Clayton Reichenbach off the backboard. Shot no good. Pauly with the rebound. Up to Nicholson. Nicholson looking to drive. Stolen away by Epperly. It's going to feed Schmidt. Schmidt with the layup is no good off the rim, but Clayton Reichenbach with the follow scores it for 2 by Clayton Reichenbach, and timeout is called. As Schmidt shoots it, stolen by Epperly. Epperly fed Schmidt. Schmidt thought the defense was going to go foul. It hits a little bit hard, but Clayton hustling on the play. Takes it off the backboard, puts it up, and good. 36-31 with 1:50 to go here in the third quarter as the Vikings lead on your Harvest Food scoreboard. We'll be back momentarily with more of the third quarter from Deer Lodge, Montana, as a full timeout was called. Bigfork crowd really cheering on their team as they keep hustling. Man, did you hear that? That's all Bigfork fans here in Deer Lodge on their feet for the Vikings. All right, Powell County, Nicholson inbound. Looking for Applegate. Feeds it to Applegate, guarded by Schmidt. They're trapped in the corner. Over to Nicholson. Nicholson looking to drive all the way. And Colton Reichenbach had his feet set, and Nicholson driving all the way, runs him over, but they call a blocking foul on Reichenbach. It looked like he was set in the key, and that'll put Nicholson at the line for 2. .143 to go, 36-31. Nicholson with 2 shots for Powell County. First shot is good by Nicholson. And Nicholson will get one more. And he makes them both. 36-33, 1:43 to go. Vikings lead. The Wardens on the Harvest Food scoreboard. Epperly across the timeline over to Schmidt. To Gilliard. Gilliard keeps it up high. Looking to drive. Over to Clayton Reichenbach. Over to Colton Reichenbach. Out to Gilliard. Gilliard comes up with it. Shot on the way. Off the rim and no good. Tipped around. Colton Reichenbach to Gilliard. Gilliard's floater is good by Logan Gilliard. 38-33. Nicholson coming all the way up, feeds to Anderson. Anderson looked like he traveled, scores the bucket on the right-handed layup. 38-35, 1:09 to go here in the third quarter. Epperly will bring it across the timeline, over to Schmidt, right side, back to Epperly. Epperly feeds it to Clayton Reichenbach. Stolen away by Anderson. Anderson goes up, no good, but he's fouled on the play. And that foul will be on number 1. Clayton Reichenbach, his 3rd, and the team's 5th. Powell County with 2 team fouls, and Anderson will go to the line to shoot 2 for Powell County. First one on the way is good. 54 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 38-36, the Vikings lead. And Anderson will get one more for Powell County. Shot up and good. 38-37, 54 seconds to go and counting here in the third quarter. Epperly slowly brings it up, crosses the timeline, looking to set it up. Clayton Reichenbach over to Gilliard, 3-point shot at the baseline, off the rim and no good. But Clayton Reichenbach goes to the rebound with Anderson. Not sure what the call is here. Brady Thornus replacing Clayton Reichenbach. Ozzie King coming back in, replacing Anderson for Powell County. And they set a foul, number 4, on Clayton Reichenbach. and 6-team foul. And Bigfork will take a 30-second timeout with 40.8 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and the Vikings leading 38-37. Looked like Clayton went up and was tied up by Anderson. Should have been a held ball rather than calling a foul. Clayton's both hands were on the ball, and they called him for a push. I'm not sure how he can push with both hands on the ball, but that's the call. That's his fourth personal, team sixth, and Powell County will get the ball underneath and have to go the full length of the court, right to left on your dial. Nicholson will take it out for Powell County. So Clayton will have to sit. Full length pass to McDermott, shot up and good. Scores over Stoltz, 39-38. The Wardens lead the Vikings. Epperly will bring it up the court and hold for one shot over to Stoltz. The right side, back to Epperly, top of the key. Over to Thornus, left side. Epperly, top of the key. Fill it over to Colton Reichenbach. Colton feeds it to Stoltz. Stoltz over to Epperly. Epperly looking to drive. And clearly the ball was off of Powell County, and they give it. As four Powell County guys went for the loose ball, knocked it out of bounds, and they give it to Powell County with 7 seconds to go. White stolen nearly by Nicholson's shot at the buzzer is no good. That's 3 quarters complete, and a raucous Deer Lodge High School as Powell County leads the Vikings 39-38. On your Harvest Foods, a Bigfork scoreboard. All right, welcome back to Deer Lodge High School. Powell County with the basketball to start the fourth quarter, leading 39-38 on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. Bigfork on the short end of some calls tonight. Nicholson with the basketball. Drives the right side, throws it up off the backboard, a wild shot. Epperly comes up with it, and finally they blow a whistle against Powell County as Epperly was streaking away to go full court. As he comes up with the long rebound, it'll be Bigfork basketball with 7:48 to go here in the ball game. Gilliard to inbound to Epperly, across the timeline, top of the key, over to Clayton Reichenbach, over to Epperly, to Gilliard. Gilliard's shot up off the rim, no good, but brought down by Randy Stoltz and tied up. And the arrow points towards Bigfork. They'll get it under their own basket with 7:39 to go. And Epperly will take it out of bounds. Epperly, Colton and Clayton Reichenbach, Stoltz and Gilliard. Epperly, right side, three-point shot on the way, no good. Tipped out to Logan Gilliard, shot up and around the rim and drops as the Vikings take the lead 40-39. Inbound to King. King, right side, back to McDermott. McDermott for Powell County. Trapped in the backcourt by Bigfork. Brings across the timeline. Pauly on the left side, feeds it out to Applegate. Applegate at the top of the key. Feeds it over to Nicholson. Nicholson guarded by Colton Reichenbach. Over to McDermott. McDermott guarded by Stoltz. McDermott looking to drive and pull up. No good. Ozzie King from way out on the drive. Pump fakes, can't get it up. Applegate with the basketball, guarded by Epperly. Over to King. King looking to drive. And Gilliard right there. Throws it up. And good by King. 41-40. Vikings trail as Epperly will bring it in the front court. Over to Stoltz, left side. Stoltz out to Epperly, top of the key. Over to Gilliard. Gilliard on the right side of the right wing. Feeds it to Epperly. And they're going to whistle a foul on Powell County. That's their 14th foul, as the foul is called. Number 3, that's Applegate, his first 14th foul. Luke Schmidt back in the ball game for Bigfork, replacing Thorness. Over to Gilliard, the left side. Long 3 by Gilliard, off the rim and no good. And Colton Reichenbach had position. And everybody thought they were going to call it against Colton, but Colton had box out position underneath, and he'll get fouled. 15th foul, and first foul on Ben Anderson, and the 15th on Powell County. Gilliard in the corner, out to Schmidt on the right wing. Feeds it over to Stoltz, left side. Back to Schmidt. Epperly on the drive, and he will go to the free throw line as he's fouled as he drives to the backboard. Misses the shot, but he'll get 2 free throws. Will Epperly, the 16th foul on Powell County. And I think that was on number 20, Dalton Pauly. His first shot up and good by Epperly. Clayton Reichenbach will replace Stoltz. Epperly will get one more. We're tied at 41 with 6:09 to go on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Epperly around the back, dribbles 3 times. Free throw up, and it is in and out. No good. Anderson comes up with a rebound, feeds it over to McDermott. We're tied at 41 still. Applegate for Powell County brings it in the front court, across the timeline. Guarded by Epperly over the right wing. He's trapped. Epperly nearly ties him up. McDermott loses it. Epperly feeds it up to Gilliard. Gilliard out to Schmidt. Looking. Clayton Reichenbach, far side, 3-point shot on the way, off the rim, and no good. McDermott up for the rebound. I don't think Clayton was ready for that shot. 5:32 and counting here to go in the ball game. We're tied at 41. Applegate, front court, guarded by Epperly, top of the key, over to Ozzie King. King tried to, throws a shot up, off the rim, no good. Loose ball, Gilliard gets down the court, gives it up to Schmidt. Schmidt feeds it over to Clayton Reichenbach in the front court. Feeds Epperly, Epperly, up, out. And Epperly will be called for a traveling violation as Randy Stoltz comes back in for Bigfork, replacing Clayton Reichenbach with those 4 fouls. And Nicholson will replace Ozzie King. 5:06 to go in the ballgame. We're still tied at 41. Inbound. Applegate to Nicholson, to McDermott, back to Nicholson. Over to Applegate, right side. Up, stolen away by Randy Stoltz. Epperly with a basketball. Looking to drive. Gilliard. Over to Epperly. Schmidt, right side. Epperly, top of the key. Feeds it up. Gilliard on the alley-oop. It is no good. Schmidt comes up with a rebound. Epperly, they're going to call a traveling violation on him. Wow, that's all I can say. And Nicholson will take it out of bounds for Powell County. On the near side, Nicholson. Inbound to McDermott. Fouled by Epperly in the backcourt. And that'll put Powell County in the bonus 1-1. And McDermott will go to the free throw line. That is his second personal on Anders Epperly, and the 7th foul here in the second half as we're tied at 41, and a 1-1 as Dylan McDermott steps to the line for Powell County. First shot is up and good. He'll get the bonus. Jim is absolutely silent. McDermott will get one more, the bonus. Up and makes it good. 43-41, 4:40 to go on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Epperly inbounding across the timeline. Over to Schmidt. Right side back to Epperly, top of the key. Logan Gillard left side with the basketball. Over to Colton Reichenbach. Epperly. Feeds it to Schmidt. Schmidt right side. Logan Gillard jumper pulls up and off the rim, back to backboard, and good. We're tied at 43 as timeout is called. A full timeout is called by Bigfork with 4:15 to go in the ball game, and we're tied at 43 on your Harvest Foods of Bigfork scoreboard. We'll be back the rest of the fourth quarter momentarily. 406-270-7384. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vows, live from Deer Lodge, Montana, at Deer Lodge High School. All right, welcome back to Powell County High School, Deer Lodge High School here in, tied at 43, 4:15 inbound to Applegate from Nicholson up to McDermott, the right side. McDermott looking to drive. Pulls up, blocked by Colton Reichenbach. And knocked out of bounds by Bigfork. It'll be Powell County basketball. Applegate to inbound. Looking for Nicholson. Throws it. Nicholson with the basketball on the left side. Left wing. Way out. Looking to drive. Guarded by Reichenbach. Clayton. Out to Applegate. Top of the key. Guarded by Epperly. Stoltz. McDermott. McDermott looking to drive. Feeds it to Pauly. Pauly underneath. Guarded by Gilliard. Anderson looking to drive into Applegate. Applegate with the basketball on the right wing. Top of the key to Nicholson. Nicholson over to McDermott. McDermott looking to drive on Stoltz. Stoltz cuts him off with those quick feet. Over to Applegate. Shot over the free throw line is up and good. 45-43, Warden's lead. Inbound to Epperly. Epperly, right side to Clayton Reichenbach. Logan Gilliard out to Clayton Reichenbach. Out to Epperly, top of the key. Clayton Reichenbach, three-point shot on the way. Off the rim and no good. Rebounded by Colton. Up and Colton goes up off the back of the rim and no good, but Colton steals it. Feeds it to Epperly. Epperly up and under left hand, no good. Rebounded by McDermott with 2:55 and counting in the ballgame. Applegate across the timeline, guarded by Epperly. Over to McDermott on the right side. McDermott looking to drive. Out to Anderson. Anderson left side. Feeds it out to Nicholson. Nicholson top of the key. Over to Applegate. Applegate. Anderson. Anderson guarded by Colton Reichenbach. Feeds it out to Nicholson. Nicholson drives on Clayton. Throws up a shot. No good. Rebounded by Gilliard. Gilliard to Epperly. Knocked out of bounds. Knocked out of bounds by McDermott. And it'll be Bigfork basketball with 2:23 to go and trailing 45-43 on your Harvest Foods of Bigfork scoreboard. Epperly with the basketball. Across the timeline for Bigfork. Over to Clayton Reichenbach. Gilliard. Shot. Turnaround jumper. Off the rim and no good. Anderson with the rebound over Stoltz. McDermott on the drive. Out of control. Held ball. Is the call. It'll be Powell County basketball as the arrow points their direction with 2:04 to go here in the ball game. Applegate looking for Anderson on the inbounds. Turnaround jumper by Anderson, no good. Gilliard, rebound. Epperly across the timeline, taking all the way, feeds it out. Reichenbach, Colton, Epperly, top of the key. Gilliard over to Clayton Reichenbach's jumper. It's good on the baseline. We're tied at 45 with 4:48 and counting. And a timeout call. Bigfork moving the basketball about 3 passes and found Clayton Reichenbach on the baseline, sinks the jumper, and a full timeout is called by Bigfork with 1:47 to go here in the ball game, and we're tied at 45 apiece on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. I just want to let you know, if you guys are listening to this ball game and intend to listen to the girls' game, I will sign off of this ball game after the post-game festivities and stats, and then I will re-log on for the girls' ball game. So, and that'll be about 10 minutes before. I'll let you know again when we sign off. But not for long. We might be headed to overtime. Who knows? 1:47 to go. The Vikings being tested here on the court. We got Stoltz, Epperly, Gilliard, and the Reichenbach twins on the court. We got Polly, McDermott, Anderson, Applegate, and Nicholson for Powell County. Nicholson looking at inbounds. Lines it up to Polly. Back to Nicholson. Nicholson driving all the way in. Pulls up. Jumper is no good. Rebounded by Colton Reichenbach. And on the rebound, they blow the whistle. And that'll be a foul on Nicholson. That'll be the 7th team foul on Powell County. And that means Colton Reichenbach will go to the line for Bigfork to shoot a 1-and-1 as Luke Schmidt comes back in for Randy Stoltz for the Vikings. 1:40 to go here in the ball game. We're tied at 45, and Colton an opportunity to break that tie here at the free throw line. First shot is up and good by Colton. He'll get the bonus. One more free throw. Colton gets the basketball, spins it, dribbles it. Shot up and nothing at the bottom of the net. Vikings take the lead, 47-45, 1:40 to go. Inbound to Applegate. Applegate looking to pass it across the timeline. Epperly right behind him. Top of the key is Applegate, guarded by Schmidt. Schmidt, Applegate still with the basketball, drives, dribbles over the left side, looking for McDermott. Finds Anderson, looking for Anderson underneath. Anderson feeds out to Nicholson, top of the key, guarded by Epperly. Epperly with the back. Guarding Nicholson, over to Applegate. Applegate looking to drive. Tries to get away. Down to Dalton Pauley underneath. And Gilliard is called for the foul. That'll be the 18th foul, and Gilliard second. And Pauley, since that was on the floor, will go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1 as Stoltz comes back in for Schmidt. Offense for defense looks like there. Pauley's first shot off the rim and no good. Colton Reichenbach with the rebound, 1:07 and counting, and the Vikings lead by 2, 47-45 on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. Epperly across the timeline. Feeds over to Clayton Reichenbach on the right side. Out to Stoltz. Over to Gilliard on the left side. Out to Colton Reichenbach. Colton over to Epperly. Epperly down to Stoltz. Stoltz back out to Epperly. And they're going to call McDermott with a reach-in foul. And Stoltz will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. And that is McDermott's first and 8th team foul. And Ozzie King will replace Ben Anderson. Stoltz to the line. An opportunity with 45.6 to go in the ball game. And Luke Schmidt will come in to play defense, taking Clayton out, with Clayton with the 4 fouls. And Randy Stoltz to the line, 1-and-1. Shot up off the rim and no good. And Nicholson and McDermott. McDermott in the front court. And Colton Reichenbach was set, and they call a blocking foul on Colton as he tries to take the charge on McDermott. McDermott a little bit out of control for Powell County, and the place is going nuts as the bucket goes in, and we're tied at 47. He'll get one more free throw. The bonus does McDermott. And they'll go up 48-47 with 38.9 to go here from Deer Lodge, Montana. Powell County leads Bigfork. The Vikings 48-47 on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. That was the third personal on Colton Reichenbach and 9th team foul. But the Vikings, they've been here before. They know how to play in tough, tight ball games. You know, and Bigfork being ranked #1, unbeaten, the returning state champions, they're going to get the best shot from each of the teams that play them. Anderson will check back in for Powell County. As that full timeout is called by Powell County. Bigfork an opportunity. Randy Stoltz had an opportunity to seal the ball game with 2 possession game. Misses that free throw, and Schmidt battled for it, but unable to come up with the loose ball. So Clayton, Colton Reichenbach, Randy Stoltz, Anders Epperly, and Logan Gilliard for Bigfork. Inbound to Epperly. And Epperly will bring it across the timeline. Over to Clayton Reichenbach, back to Epperly. Colton Reichenbach on the left side. Epperly feeds it to Gilliard. Gilliard on the right wing. Back out to Epperly, top side. Colton Reichenbach. Logan Gilliard's shot is off, but rebounded as Stoltz was in position to get the rebound. He is fouled by Anderson, and we'll go back to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. King will return to the ball game. That is the third on Anderson, 9th team foul. And Powell County's got 6 guys on the court. Finally, Anderson goes out, and Stoltz at the line. An opportunity to tie it with 16.2 to go here. Gets loud, rebounded by Nicholson. Nicholson looked like he traveled, and he did. Nicholson gets the rebound, tries to take off without dribbling, and it will be Bigfork basketball as Anderson will return for Powell County. Next foul will put both teams in the double bonus. The Wardens lead 48-47 on the Harvest Foods of Bigfork scoreboard with 13.8 to go. Under their own basket, Epperly will take it out of bounds for the Vikings. Feeds it in the corner to Colton Reichenbach. Out to Stoltz. Over to Clayton. Over to Epperly. 3-point shot on the way. Off the rim and no good. And rebound come up by Applegate. And that'll put them in the double bonus, 48-47 with 6.2 to go. And all of Powell County players will get back for defense. It'll be Applegate at the line by himself for 2 free throws. McDermott comes up to guard Epperly. First shot on the way by Applegate is no good. One more. And McDermott looking to keep the ball out of the hands of Epperly. Second shot is good. 2-point lead, 49-47. And timeout called by Powell County as the Vikings trail 49-47 on your Harvest Foods, a Bigfork scoreboard with 6.2 to go in the ball game. An opportunity to tie it or take the lead. If they get fouled, they get 2 free throws automatically. An opportunity to seal the ball game, come up short, missing some free throws down the stretch does Bigfork. And Powell County comes up, makes 1 of 2 to stretch the lead to 2. Wardens have no more timeouts. Bigfork shows 1 left. 49-47, 6.2. Gilliard inbounds to Epperly. Epperly will bring it across the timeline, looking to find somebody in a shot. Epperly's shot on the way is no good, and that is the ball game. As the Powell County Wardens upset the Bigfork Vikings 49-47 on your Harvest Foods Bigfork scoreboard. I'm sure we'll meet again. A very low-scoring ball game. I'll come back with your full game stats here momentarily from Deer Lodge, Montana, as the Vikings lose this one to Powell County, 49-47 on your Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard. Well, welcome back to Deer Lodge, Montana. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vows. And, well, Bigfork got stunned there. A little adversity, that's good for him. Here in Deer Lodge, Montana, as they lose this one 49-47 on your Harvest Foods and Bigfork scoreboard. Full game stats brought to you by His Biz, Paint and Renovate. His Biz specializes in paint and renovative exterior and interior for both residential and commercial projects. Also does snow removal, and I know this firsthand. Hoagie Hogan. Contact His Biz at www.hisbiz.us or 270-1998. As you can imagine, Coach took the scoreboard right after, or the scorebook, excuse me, right after the ball game. So I have no full game stats. I just know Bigfork a little bit down, losing this one, as Powell County brought their best to try to beat Bigfork, and were able to outscore them by 2. Missing free throws down the stretch that could have sealed the ball game does Bigfork, and Epperle with a nice three-point open look, but off the rim and couldn't come up with it there at the buzzer. So your final, and the Vikings lose this one 49-7 to Powell County on your Harvest Foods scoreboard. Once again, this is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vows. Thanks for tuning in and listening and supporting your Vikings. I'm going to sign off for this game, and then I'll reestablish for the Valkyries ball game, as the Valkyries will take on the Lady Wardens of Powell County from Deer Lodge, Montana. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the other side with the Valkyries and Lady Wardens from Deer Lodge, Montana.